All right, I am live. Got my coffee. Got my, where's my, where's my comb? There's my comb. Oh, it's already combed. Why am I not wearing my? I should be wearing my hat. It's 5 o'clock. Where is everybody? There's Willow. How you doing, Willow? Cheryl, you doing all right, dear? I I have this fear sometimes that sometimes when I go online, nobody will show up. I guess that's a natural. Hey, Christy, did you get my email with the link, dear? Hey, Lisa, I've been catching some of your stuff on Facebook, but I sent you a link, Christy, to this live stream if you still want to do a live spot on here with me. I also sent Mary Beth one too. I don't know if she got it or not, but maybe I should have put my hat on. I'm not used to seeing me with no hat on. Okay, well, I sent it to you anyway. Um, I sent it to Mary Beth and Maggie, over in Guam, and I don't know if either one of them will get it. I'm fine without my hat. Yeah, I've been letting my hair grow back out instead of shaving it. And I noticed, hey, Wendy, Homeland Paranormal Diamond. Oh, okay. I've seen you before, dear. And there's Angie. Uh, I've noticed, seems like the older I get, the more, like, well, I'm looking at that this here, I see hair growing out of the side of my neck back there where there shouldn't be. There's hair growing out of my ears. I wonder why that is. You get all these wild hairs. Uh, it's kind of a stupid topic, I guess. And but I know I start looking at myself in the mirror and I see these hairs and stuff growing. Well, I know I'm gonna have them here, but I can't. This one here, that's hair back there. I see them coming out of my ears too. My wife, I guess my wife used to keep me groomed, but that was a long time ago. Hey, Manila Kippy, are you, Are you a German national or are you a transplant? I was in Berlin many, many years ago, back when it was still divided and the wall was up and all that stuff. I need to quit trying to keep up with that. I'll let Willow worry with that stuff, and I'll just say some of the stuff I've been wanting to say. And that one video I just put up that I was talking about not being happy and all that stuff. What I was trying to say, sometimes I don't really get my point across, but I was trying to say that I'm really down. Who is that? That's Fantab. Fantab just chimed in. Bring her up. Hey, Mary Beth. Mary Beth,
hello, how are
there?
How are you?
I'm all right. I didn't know if you got my email or not. I thought
Yeah,
Christy from.
I'm actually in the car.
Oh, you're in the car. Where you?
Yeah,
Where
we're in
you
the car
going?
on our way home. Whoops. We're on our way home.
Okay. Well, what I was just trying to say is when I put that video up about me not being happy and everything, what I was trying to say, folks, was if I am not doing something to take my mind off of different stuff in my life, I get that way. And when I'm out riding around on my scooter and meeting people that like at the grocery store and along my route and all that stuff, I'm more content and the happiest, I guess. That and when I'm involved with something with my family here, and when I'm talking to some of my YouTube family and stuff like that, I'm fine. But when I'm sitting here with just my thoughts and nothing in particular going on, I really get. Some people say they have no regrets. Well, I can't really say that and be honest. Hey, Chance. I was just talking to Chance on Facebook a little while ago. But that's what I was trying to say. I'm not really in a depressed state. I might get a little bit depressed when I start thinking about things that went on in my life. So that's what I was really trying to say. So enough about that. New Year's is coming up, as everybody knows. I am making a New Year's resolution. I kind of halfway made the same thing last year, but I never followed through with it. And that is my cotton picking weight. I weighed a little over a year ago, I weighed about 230 pounds. Now I weigh 290, so that's a lot of weight to put on in a year. So I'm not going on a diet per se. I'm just going to quit eating so dang much that it's just ridiculous what I eat sometimes. And because I get food that's healthy and lower in calories and all that stuff, don't mean you done what? What did you do, Mary Beth?
I put my phone in the holder up here, and when I did, my phone went completely black on me, so I couldn't see nothing.
Okay. But just because it's diet food don't mean it's low calorie. Don't mean you sit there and just stuff yourself with it. And that's what I have a habit of doing. I eat a lot of cottage cheese. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a diet type food or not, but I eat a lot of that. and I ate too darn much of it because I mix it with pineapple pieces. And that says natural syrup and all that stuff, but it doesn't mean it's not too much can be too bad for you. But my goal, and this is my resolution, y'all the first to hear it, I'm dropping 50 pounds. Regardless, I'm dropping 50 pounds. I got to, and I have an idea that's going to help my walking a lot too if I can drop that 50 pounds. I know Christy on Crazy Family, I guess she's still on her diet, but she's lost quite a bit of weight. You can tell it. But that's one of my New Year's resolutions. My other resolution is going to be quit worrying about me not getting so many subs. I always worry about that. And matter of fact, I'm at about 924, I think. But seems like every time I gain 2 or 3, I'll drop one. And I don't know why that is. Just people just go through their stuff and seeing who they want to drop, or is that just a natural order of things? You're right, Christy. Eating half of what I normally eat and don't fill my plate like normal. Instead of 3 or 4 eggs and sausage and grits, have 2 eggs and maybe 1 patty of sausage and just a little bit of 1 serving of grits.
Here's my chauffeur.
Huh?
Here's my chauffeur.
Oh, okay. I see the gentleman. I'm assuming that's your husband and you ain't out sneaking around.
That's my husband. That's Willem.
If he's half the person you are, Mary Beth, he's a great man.
He's a great man. I wish I was half the person he is.
What's that on his hat? Is he a veteran?
No, he's not a veteran.
Okay. I couldn't read what was on that.
Actually, that's where he's from.
From where?
Holland.
He's from Holland?
Yes.
I should have knew that by that cotton picking name. I should have knew that. I've been on asking you about that. I got some friends. Well, Wendy, she's from Holland, and Wendy says she lost 66 pounds since November of 2018. Hey, that ain't bad.
Yeah, I may lose connection a few times through here. We got some dead space, but I'll get back on when I get home if I do.
Okay, dear. We'll be here. And Eon Matthews, I'm assuming, Eon, you're from UK, right?
Who?
Eon. It says Eon Matthews. I think he's from UK. I didn't see your song, Mary Beth. How did I miss that?
How'd you miss what?
I said I didn't see your Christmas song. How did I miss that? I'm gonna have to go back on there and look that up.
I sang a Christmas song every day from December. With me.
I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Yeah, Wendy, that's a lot of weight. That's more weight than I was wanting to lose. Goodness gracious. And some more stuff. A lot of people tell me I'm very sociable. I never really looked at it like that, but I guess I am. Meaning I depend a lot on other people around me, with my family and my YouTube family and just people I meet out when I'm out and about. And I have got some real sweet ladies, and I don't mean that in a flirtatious or whatever you want to call it way. They are just sweethearts, and I love them so much. And I even had some of the ladies on my can route had made little gift bags for me, mostly stuff I ain't supposed to be having because it's edible.
Yeah.
But
All that good stuff.
I had this one lady, Miss Ashley. She gave me a bag. She should have just put a couple of pieces. She made this chocolate covered peanut candy. Instead of putting one or two in there, she packed that thing full. I mean, it was, and guess what? I was eating some of it on the way home. I think that was on my video. But when I got home, I gave my grandson some of it. He liked it. Matter of fact, he tried to take the whole bag. That wasn't happening. But yeah, some of them were just giving me stuff and cards, and I appreciate everybody that sent me cards. I wished I'd have got that done on my end, but I just didn't get it done. There's so much I want to talk about. I want to ask people, is it natural just to get a melancholy or sad feeling around Christmas, or is that just me? I do. I get sad and melancholy. Of course, my wife passed away in December. My son passed away in November, and that's got a lot to do with it. I remember having to do Thanksgiving without my son. I remember having to go to the Christmas parade without my son. And I remember my wife not being there for Christmas. She died around the 7th or 8th of December. And that always comes back. And that's never going to go away.
No, it's not.
But
yeah, this was the first year that, after my mom passed away, and it's I've had a lot of days that I've really struggled thinking back of the way things used to be. And a simple thing is me making a fruit salad that my mom and daddy always used to sit down and make together. Making it and eating a bowl of that fruit salad, which was nothing but simple, fresh fruit cut up, brought back so many memories. And it it brings a tear to me now just thinking about eating a bowl of it. And so I understand where you're coming from, even though I have Willem and I have my kids, except for the one that didn't come around, didn't even say happy birthday to me this year. He didn't say happy Thanksgiving. He didn't come around or nothing. I hadn't heard from him at all since his birthday. So I know how you feel about, there's a happy time, but there's also some sad and memorable times that you think back and wish things were like they used to be. So I know how you feel about a lot of those times, and it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's just one. Hey, there's Tanya. Where do I see that? Right. Hey, Tanya. Hey, dear, I noticed your name is Tanja, or is it Tanya? Am I seeing that right? Tanjya. You lost your. Chrissy says she lost her brother this year.
Yeah.
Is that something I just forgot?
That was back, 4 months ago?
Well, that's about how long I've known the crazy family. Maybe a little bit longer than that. But
No, maybe it was 3 months ago. It hadn't been that many months ago.
I didn't pick up on it, and I watch all the videos. I get so sick when I see all the stuff that Marty pulls out of that dumpster, and I can't. Well, I don't go anymore, but I could never find squat. Like I mean, he's finding these cases and stuff like that, and it's stuff that we get. You know, when he pulled all them potatoes that time, and I had to go out either that day or the next day, and I had to buy a 10-pound bag for $6.
$5 or $6, yeah.
Yeah, and then he found all them hams, and we had to go buy a ham for Christmas. And all those lunch meats and stuff that we buy a lot of, we have to buy that stuff. And he talked about they saved thousands. I imagine they did save a lot of thousands.
Yeah.
Just crazy. And we can't find nothing like that. And if you went to Aldi's around here, there's a padlock on the dumpster.
Yeah.
So
ours in Bowling Green doesn't, but I don't go to Bowling Green enough to go shopping there or dumpster diving there.
Hey, you outside now?
Yeah, I'm home. I'm home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out in the wilderness out here. Out in the wilderness.
Yeah, I wish we were back out in the wilderness, but we've been moved away from there now for, I guess, 8 years. 8 years. My land's still out there, but the house, you know, somebody burned it down. But
that's sad.
Yeah, Christy said about 5 months. Your brother, was he a young man, Christy? I just don't recall that. Of course, I can't remember a lot of stuff anymore. And, I'll think of something one minute, and then if I don't get in here real quick and do it, I forgot what it was I was wanting to do. That's how fast stuff is. I'm looking very smart. Well, I ain't got my hat on. I comb my hair. I may not shave my head this time. I'm thinking about it. I can't figure, you know, actually I ought to shave my face one time, but I hadn't shaved in so long other than just running the clippers over it and leaving that stubble. It's probably been a year since I shaved.
Trying to think where's the best place for me to sit. Oops, sorry.
Hey, Jaden. Come here a minute, baby. Say hi to everybody. His brother come by to see him the other day. Come over here. Can't nobody see that you're in your drawers.
I know.
Get over here and say hi to everybody.
Hi.
His brother come to see him the other day. He's got another half. All of his brothers are half brothers.
What?
But the two here, of course, that's my daughter's sons. But his other brother, he's a police officer. And he come by the other day. I was sitting out back working on cans. I might have that on the video. He was standing over and I didn't even know he was there. And he said, "Do you remember me?" And I looked at him. I said, "Hey, I'm 78. I'll be 79 pretty quick. And that means I'm looking hard at 80. I don't remember squat." But I knew he looked familiar, but it was Martise. That's his oldest brother.
Marquise, not Martise.
Who?
Marquise, not Martise.
Okay. But anyway, he come by to see his brother. And I have to say one thing about Jaden's dad. He's more involved with Jaden than any of Donovan's or Joey's dads. Matter of fact, that their dads are all bad apples. Matter of fact, they're all in. One's in jail for life without parole for murder. The other one, he's just a. I don't know what to call him. I used to like him, but I told him a long time ago, if he didn't straighten up, he was going to be a lifer in jail. And sure enough, he's still there. But it is what it is. What? Who said something? Maybe
That was my phone. I'm sorry, my other phone.
Oh, okay. I hear noise.
I'm trying to pull up the chat on my other phone. I'm trying to get my chat pulled up on the other phone if I can.
He was in his early 50s, too young for sure.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that died young with heart attacks.
I'm trying to see if
I'm surprised I ain't had a bad heart, but I guess I haven't. They said one time they tried to tell me, and I don't know if it was so or not, that I had congestive heart failure. And I don't understand what congestive heart failure is. It's not a heart attack, is it? Is it a heart attack?
Not exactly.
But
not exactly.
I was in there for something else, and they come up with that. And that's when they put me in the hospital, but they didn't keep me long. But I think I was in there for another infection on one of my toes. I believe it was. It might have been when I was in there to have that one amputated. But I still got problems with my feet, but nothing like I was having. And I hope I don't have any more of that, because I've always heard they take one piece, they'll wind up taking another piece till you lose a leg. That's what I've always heard. And I worry about my legs. I know I'm going to have a couple more stents put in my legs. I'm fixing to do I want to make a list of all my subscribers that I'm talking about, the 100, 120 or 30 that watches all my videos and stuff. I want to make a list of the emails and mailing addresses and stuff like that. While I still have time to do it. I want to be more in touch with everybody. And there's Snobby. I didn't see you, Snobby. I try to catch all you guys when you have your live streams and stuff, but I don't get notifications anytime any of y'all pop up anymore, and I still can't figure out why. And I've tried everything in the world I can to correct that, but I'm just not getting it done. How's Dusty Blonde, Snobby? Tell you some story. Dear was a beautiful woman. Her name was Mary Beth, and she sang like an angel. Ah. You're an angel, Mary Beth.
I wouldn't know what to sing, but that is so.
Well, a lot of them Southern girls like to sing, and my wife's family, they were all singers, and I don't know why, because even one of them even was was Marshall Grant, and he was with Johnny Cash when they started out as a Tennessee Three, and he was with Johnny Cash for years, and he was the bass. If you ever see any of his old videos or anything, he was the one playing the bass thing, the slap bass or whatever you want to call it. And I guess he's passed away now. I know his brother's dead. His daddy was my mother-in-law's uncle, and they was from Nantahala, North Carolina, up in the mountains. And if you want to know more about Nantahala, Google it, Nantahala, and Nantahala means land of the noonday sun. Nantahala was down in the gorge, so that's where I lived for about 20 years. What else here? But I don't want to miss any of my notes because is this just me? I tend to watch every time I get a subscriber. I'll watch. I look at it, and every time I go back and look, and I'm down one or two, I look at it. I know I don't need to concern myself with that because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But you know, when I just pick up 2 or 3 subscribers here and there, and then I look at somebody like Crazy Family Tube, they pick up in the last month. If my figures is right, they have picked up 690 subscribers versus my 46. So that doesn't bother me, but it's just, you know, the difference. And of course, you take somebody like Scrap and Pallet Man, he don't pick up 100 here or there. He picks up thousands in a month.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fixing to hit 100,000 subscribers. And I'm surprised that he even finds time to still talk with me and stuff. But he does. But I don't understand. That's a lot of subscribers. You can't.
Yeah.
He tried to have a live stream one time, and the comments was going by so fast you couldn't concentrate on one unless you stopped the scroll or something. It was going by so fast. And I don't like the fact that I can't look over here and say something to somebody and, you know, and make a comment about it. Did everyone have my holiday was
Hi,
good.
Maggie.
It was okay, and I'm assuming everybody else did. There may be some out there. Subs up and down happen, Russell. Watching that is like waiting for a toaster to pop or the grass to grow. She said, maybe that's what's wrong, and I drove myself nuts. Oh, Lord. And I'm coming up with a video, and I'm sure everybody's going to like this, and it's coming out New Year's Day. And I'm doing a year in review of different things I was doing and saying, and it's going to be for the whole year, but it's not going to be long. But I'm working on that now. I got so many pokers in the fire that I can't even think straight sometimes. I'm working on another video that is about Which one? Now I've lost my train of thought. Which one am I even talking about? Golly, Ned. Uh, uh, my plans. I'm talking about my plans and stuff that I want to do different. The one I was just talking about was my thing that I'm making a card to leave at all my people on my can route that specifically leave me stuff out. I want to give them all a card. It's not going to be a Christmas card. It's not going to be a New Year's Eve card. It's just going to be a thank you card. And because they make my route worth going out there and
Thank you, Maggie.
And I do it whether it's can day or not. I just want to leave them a card because they make it worth it to me. And you guys do too, because if it wasn't for this here, I don't know what I would be doing. And I thank goodness that I paid attention to Chris and Holly, even though I can't get them to do any kind of live stream with me or anything. I thank him for talking me into doing a YouTube channel. Well, I had a YouTube channel, but I wasn't making any content, and he talked me into it, and I finally gave in and started doing it, and I'm so glad I did, because I didn't realize that I would be getting I don't know if ought to be a better word than attached, but I get attached to I'm attached to Mary Beth. I'm attached to Christy. I'm attached to, hey, there's Prion. And Prion, you need to let me know when we can do that live chat, dear. I'm really looking forward. I want to talk to this girl.
We understand that, Marty.
I don't know why I'm drawn to this girl. She talks good English. It's not what I would call fluent English, but it's English. And she knows the words and what all that means. She's a student. She's a foreign student. She's from Bangladesh. And I want to.
Bye, Manuela.
Who's leaving?
Manuela.
Oh, okay. Hey, I thank you. She's the one from Berlin, all right? I want to talk more to her, too. I'll have to look that up. I like to talk to people in other countries. And people, well, I like to talk to people in general, so what's new? But
We
no,
just like people.
Prion, you get back with me there and set up a time that you want to do this live chat. I want to do a private chat with her, and I maybe would like to have her on as a spot on the my Saturday live stream if she's interested. But here I go looking at.
She says she sent you mail. Said you haven't gotten it. She says she sent you mail at Junk Dauber.
But she didn't tell me what a good time it would be. Because, see, her time, she's 7 hours ahead of us. She's in Ukraine. And I'll have to go back and look. But I definitely want to talk to the girl. And hers is more like a vlog, you know. She just talks about different things. She doesn't go out and make a video like I do, but she talks about different things. And some of the things that she talks about gives you pause to think about it.
Hi, Rianne.
And that, where's Rianne? I didn't say there's Rianne. Hey, Rianne. Love you, girl. I like Rianne. She talks more than Elena does. Elena's not much of a talker, but Rianne will talk to you. And even though she's adopted, I'm saying she gets that from Christy, because Christy will talk to her. She'll talk your ears off. But anyway, Rianne, I'm gonna get back with you. I'm gonna set up a time, and I don't. Do you go to school during the days, or do you go in the evenings? I don't know. And I thought, well, I won't. I'll save that to when I talk to you. A thing, or I don't want to give anything away. But yeah,
That's right, Marty. You need to smash that like button, everybody. Give that thumbs up to Mr. Junk Dauber here, my buddy Russell. We need that likes. 6 likes and 16 people watching. We need some more likes for that.
I know what, if everybody I'm talking to that watches my videos right now, if every one of y'all could drum me up one new subscriber, I'd be over the mark. I would. I'd be over the mark. Because I only like 76. I think, something like that. But I ain't used to me without a hat. That gum. I keep seeing that gray up there shining. Are you natural gray?
Oh, look at my gray shining. You see my gray shining?
Yeah, I see it. Nothing wrong with gray.
We're both all natural.
There you go. My brother used to get so jealous of me sometimes. He used to accuse me back when I was around 60. My hair was still brown. And his was gray. He was gray and balding. And he keeps saying, she will be free after New Year's. Okay, dear, I see that. But yeah, he used to accuse me of putting dye on my hair and stuff, and I never did. Never have put nothing on my hair. I might just do it one time as a wash off just to see if anybody would notice. I know they would, because I'd have to grade my eyebrows and have to put.
I never did either.
I'd have to put more dye on my mustache or shave it off. And the gray hair is coming out of my ear. If I dyed my hair, it'd be a major operation, because I'd have a lot of dyeing to do. And I noticed, I have an aunt. She went and had surgery on her eyes, and I guess you would call it vanity surgery or whatever. But notice how my eyelids, upper eyelids, kind of hang over my eye.
Yeah.
And that's a Pearson family thing. My daddy was like that. All my Pearson side of my family was like that. And my aunt actually went and had surgery to have that taken out, cut out somehow or another, because she says it affected her vision. And I thought my eyes was really getting bad, but what it is, I can lift that eyelid up over that, and all of a sudden I see a lot better. So I've got the same problem, but I don't know that it's something I'd want to have go under the knife to correct. I mean, it's almost like I'm in I'm not in a fog, but I notice it.
You got a shadow over your eyes, kind of.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. These things under here, them don't bother me. I'm not too concerned about looking old. Some people tell me I don't look as old as I am, but I don't know if they're just being nice or whatever. But I see people that's younger than me that I think looks older than me.
Hush, Pedro.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, they're gonna bark.
What kind of dog is it?
They're a Chihuahua Pug mix.
Oh, that's what the baby is. Hey, Bailey, you want to come over here a minute? You want to come over here, baby? She's looking at
This
me.
one's kind of loud and big.
She's looking at me like, how dare I disturb her?
Yep.
She sleeps a lot. But anyway, that's all the news I got on. I covered that. I covered my diet. My keep up with how many. I covered that. I covered. Dang. Have I been? I ain't been on but 45 minutes. Oh, by
Dogs in.
the way, Crazy Family Tube, are y'all having a live stream today? If you are, I'll be there. And
I don't know. She said something they were having internet trouble earlier, but I don't know.
you know, there was a lady, and I'll even tell you her name, and her name was Jerry's sister
Barbara.
Barb Everett. You know her?
I've seen her in here before.
Okay. She sent me $2 in the tip jar. And she apologized for that it wasn't more. And you know what? Nobody has to apologize. I don't care if it's 50 cents. Nobody has to apologize. You know, 50 cents is $5, you know, and $2 is $20 the way I look at it. It all
Exactly.
adds up. And I appreciate anything that anybody sends to me, and I wish there was some way that if I ever do reach enough money to get that scooter that I want to get, I wish there was some way I could return it all if it doesn't happen. But I don't know how you would go about doing that. But Jerry, sister, you don't have to. If you're watching, dear, you don't have. Oops, you're not. You're no live stream today for Crazy Family. But yeah, Jerry, sister, you don't have to apologize. It's well appreciated, and I just appreciate it. And I really felt bad that you felt like you needed to apologize. You don't have to apologize. Matter of fact, you don't have to apologize if you don't send nothing, you know, because just the fact that I have you guys here means the world to me. And it makes my life a lot more meaningful that I have you people. And I don't know what you find so interesting about me. And it just thrills me that I can talk like I was just talking to Priyan. She's in Ukraine. Was just talking to this other fella in Berlin, Germany, and Maggie in Guam, Mary Beth in Kentucky. That's kind of all over the world, folks. And Chance, he's in UK. By the way, Chance and Eon, I don't know why, I can't explain it, but I have been on this here last month on this UK kick about the history of UK. You know, how it all got started and who whooped whose butt and all that stuff to get to where they got. And the biggest thing that struck me is that way back in the day, some of them kings and queens, they was, I don't know if vicious is the right word, but I mean, they lop off somebody's head at the drop of a hat, stuff like that, gave me pause to think. And I wanted to see how the like right now it's the House of Windsor. Before that it was House of something else. And I think they changed it in 1917 to the House of Windsor. And that's what it is now. And then to think about Queen Elizabeth, this queen now, she's been there since 1953, and that was the first time the coronation was ever televised. And I remember watching that in 1953 in Jacksonville, Florida, on WMBR. That was a TV station there, and I'm not sure if that was NBC or ABC. It could have been CBS. But I've just been on this kick with the UK and how it all come about, and it never occurred to me when they talk about the Normans that they was talking about it was French. It was French, but then comes Spain and France, and by the way, the monarchy now in England really. They're descended from Germans. I didn't know that. But at least that's my perception of what all happened. I don't know, and I don't even know why I'm even talking about it. But
you talk about what you want to at your show.
Yeah, it's just something that I've been on. And then one other thing too, I want to cover back in 1994. I quit advertising my shop. I had a furniture and upholstery shop, and I quit advertising it. And I started going out to a place. It was a flea market. It was a giant. There's over 1,000 booths in that thing, and it was called Market of Marion. And I had this booth, and I kept it on a permanent basis. And I had a display in there of some of my work and stuff like that. And I was just meeting people, and I would get leads, to go see people about doing their stuff. And one day I decided I was going to walk around, and I walked around and I bought, and you're not supposed to sell firearms in the flea market. And this guy had one. And I don't know how I found out he had one, but he was wanting to sell it. And I bought it. It was a 38 pistol, and I bought it. And what does them red things mean?
What red things?
There's a little mark thing popping up by everybody's icon. Anyway, I bought the pistol, and it was empty, supposedly. I didn't check to see. And when I got back to my booth, I wasn't letting anybody see it. And I went in the cab of my truck. And I was sitting there looking at it. And I dry fired it without checking whether it was empty or not. And guess what? I couldn't hear for about 30 seconds. That thing.
Oh, mercy.
It shot a bullet hole right through my radio in the dash.
Oh, mercy.
And I knew that was going to draw some attention. So I got out of the truck. And of course, nobody could tell where the noise come from. And I'm like, what was that? I knew what it was. I knew what it was. And management come walking down through the aisles and everything, see if they could figure out who had a gun or shooting fireworks. They didn't know. But I could have got booted for that. But that goes to show you, if you're dealing with firearms, don't ever assume that it's empty just because somebody said it is. You check it. I learned that the hard way. I had to get a new radio for my truck.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, they put a nice house.
That's the original boom box.
Boom box, all right. I think that was 1994. I'm not sure. Does anybody remember back before the year 2000 come around and everybody was talking about Y2K?
Oh yeah.
And everybody was buying all this different little things to add onto their computer that would stop it from messing it up. Of course, it didn't mess it up. Wasn't going to mess it up. I don't know why anybody ever got that started. But boy, I'll tell you what, that was I was one of them. I bought something from somebody. I think I paid like $6 or $7 for it to add to my computer that was supposed to stop it. Of course, it was probably nothing. But I remember that. Y2K, and the ATMs weren't going to work and all this stuff, you know. But that's the way some things, people make a lot of money. And I noticed too that there's a thing going around on the internet now that Walmart's giving away $75 coupons.
Yeah, it's all baloney.
All you have to do is take that, go into their app thing and add 50 email addresses to people you know, and each one of you is going to get a coupon. And of course, my daughter works at Walmart, you know, and my grandson too. Well, my grandson used to. He quit about 3 or 4 days ago. But my daughter says, "Huh?" So that's a hoax. And then I got looking. That's what it's there. They're getting all these email addresses, and they get a few thousand email addresses, and they sell it to some internet company that's going to start sending you emails advertising stuff.
Yep.
That's all that was. And my grandson, the one that worked there, he quit 3 or 4 days ago, and I didn't know it till after the fact that he had. He went and got another job at Wawa, and if anybody don't know what Wawa is, it's a convenience store like thing with gas and all that stuff. And I think they're mostly up north. We just got 3 new ones built down here, so it's new for the area. But he just got tired. They had him online for promotion. At one time, he thought he was promoted, and he wasn't, to CSM, which is a customer service manager, and they're the ones that I think they handle all the cashiers' money, and he gets more change to them if they need it and stuff like that. And that store that he's at or was at, they did like $1 million a day in sales. So he'd be handling probably a third of that money himself. And they didn't want to finalize it till he hit 21. But they was having him do the job anyway without the promotion or without the pay. And if something went wrong, it would come down on him without getting the benefit of having that position. And they kept putting people ahead of him. So he finally got tired of it and just told them, "No, I'm leaving." And he gave his 2-week notice, and he starts at Wawa on Monday. So, and plus he gets more money at Wawa, and they're sending him to management some kind of management school or something, because he's already got the experience that he has. He's 20.
Mm-hmm.
He's really more level-headed and stuff than the average 20-year-old. He never hung out around the neighborhood. He hung out with some friends, but it was friends from school, and it wasn't like hanging down on the corner or something like that. He never did that, which I was always afraid. I said, he's just too darn good. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it never did. He's straight, you know, and he's just that kind of. And plus, he's going to college. You know, he's still planning on being a doctor. So we'll see how all that works out. I just hope I live long enough to see it. But he's a good kid.
Sounds like it.
And of course, my older grandson, you know, he's the one with CP, and he's right here at home. And they jacked him around. He works for Salvation Army every Christmas season, ringing a bell, and they pay him so much an hour. Well, this year they had a church get about 30 or 40 volunteers to volunteer to ring the bells, and so it cut way in to what the paid bell ringers got on the time they got. He only worked like 2 or 3 days a week, and then it was like 4-hour days and stuff like that. And I couldn't figure that out. And then there was a lady there, and I was telling her, I said, it seems like y'all are getting a lot less time now this time than y'all got last. She said, well, I'm a volunteer, so I don't know about it. She said, our church come up, and I forget how many, it's either 30 or 40 volunteers. And she said, I don't think anybody ought to come out here and do this to get paid for it. And that just flew all over me, because to start with, the people that's ringing them bells is a person that's needy. It's a person that has a disability like cerebral palsy. There's several of them out there that have cerebral palsy. And there's one guy, he has Down syndrome. You know, and I said, what y'all are doing is knocking these people out of what they normally do. What was that?
That was my phone again. I thought I'd cut off the sounds, but evidently I didn't.
What did it say?
There.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But yeah, it just, I said, no offense. That's nice that you want to volunteer, but there's lots of things y'all can volunteer to do. I said, needy things are out there all year round, not just Christmas. But she was kind of miffed that I said that, but you know, it's just I knew what it meant to my grandson, and he only got a third of what he normally earns, and his shift was like 3 and 4 hours. And before they was working 8-hour shifts, and now they're only working 3 and 4 hours. I just put a Tootsie Roll in my mouth.
Have you a Tootsie Roll, huh?
Yeah, that's something else I don't understand. I wake up this morning, and first thing I see, I look over here on my desk, and I see this. It's full of cookies. I don't need them. And then I see this. Tootsie Rolls. Why they bring me stuff on? And of course, you know I'm going to eat it. Most of it anyway. I'm fixing to give that other Tootsie Roll to my grandson. But I try to stay away from the candies if I can.
Yeah. This time of year, though, it's hard not to indulge in some of it.
And I love truffles.
No, me too. Truffles are my weakness.
They're so
And
good.
Aldi has some of the best.
They're so good.
Mhm.
And
They sure are.
I'm a sucker for bacon.
Hmm.
The other day, I was at Publix. He starts. When does he start? With volunteering, learning some job. And so, I believe Alan would. I believe Alan would work good at some kind of jobs or something. I believe he would. There's a guy over at Publix has Down syndrome, and he mostly does cleaning, dusting and stuff like that. And you never see him sitting around. He is busy and he stays busy. And sometimes they let him bag groceries. And I pulled in there with my cart with that little basket on there, and that throwed him a curve. He was totally confused about what to do with that bag of groceries. And one of the other clerks come over and helped me put it in the basket and everything. And I thanked him and everything. I said a couple of words to him, and but it's jobs like that a lot of these guys can do. Willpower, Dauber. Yeah, you told that right. That starts on January 1st. It's gonna be hard too. Cause I got to, like when I bake, I love baked potatoes. When I bake potatoes, I don't bake one, I bake two. Not huge ones, but ones are plenty. But I'll sit there and wolf down two. And not with some kind of low fat imitation butter or margarine or something, but with butter. That's got to stop. I will literally take two of them potatoes and I'll use a half a stick of butter on those two potatoes. It wouldn't be hard for me to be a vegetarian. I love vegetables, and I love a lot of the kinds that nobody likes, like asparagus and broccoli, uh, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. I love it, and I love a pot. I love a pot of navy beans, or lima beans, seasoned with salt pork or something like that. Love that stuff.
You can take the top off. Well,
Wouldn't be hard for me to be hey, scrapping cash. I see you, but hey, I just hung my sign up. I'll show it to you next week. The one, the coffee sign you sent me. Just have one instead of two, and just use a little butter. It goes a long way. Yeah, it don't go a long way for me. I like I like to see that butter laying there and just flowing.
You like that puddle, huh?
And that's my aunts and uncles' fault. Back when my mom and dad divorced, and I was spending all my summers at my aunts and uncles. They were farmers, and there was always plenty of butter and plenty of milk, fresh whole milk, and eggs, and all the stuff I'm not supposed to have much of now. But it was always available. And Lisa loves my daughter asparagus. Lisa, my daughter, she come up. Well, I don't know where she got the recipe, but she puts them on a baking pan or a baking dish, and she seasons it with something. I'm not sure what it is, but I think there's some kind of cheese on them too. It's either mozzarella or
Parmesan.
yeah, Parmesan. And she bakes them things, and them things are good.
There's Jerry's sister, Barbara Everett.
Where's she at?
She just come in.
Hey, sister, I was you there a while ago? I was just telling you how much I appreciated that $2, and you didn't have to apologize for it just being $2. It meant the world to me. It meant the world, and like I was telling them, $2 times 10 more.
Hello, Scrap and Crash.
But anyway, I appreciated it, dear. I really did. Those asparagus, I forget what my daughter calls them, but I'll get that to you, Christy. They are good. They are good. Matter of fact, she'll take a bunch like you normally get, and she'll do that one bunch. And between me and her, in about 3 hours, they're gone. We eat them. Now, I don't know how bad that is for you. Well, it's got cheese on it, but I'm not sure about the spices and stuff she puts on. I'll have to look that up and see what it is.
Now, for me and my son, I can put just a tiny bit of olive oil and salt and pepper on asparagus and run it in the oven just long enough to tenderize them a little bit, and we will eat them up. And I mean just a little olive oil.
Olive oil, that is what she puts on them.
Just a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and that's all we put on them, and we love it.
Yeah, I wish my daughter wouldn't eat some of the things that she eats, because she's diabetic now, and she's just, matter of fact, she just turned 49 on the 21st of December. I was thinking she was going to be 50, but I'll catch her next year when she hits 50. I already let her know. I said, well, you're looking dead at 50. That just don't seem possible. That means, gosh. And I just told her when she hit 49, I told her, I said, that's longer than your mom and me was together. We were married 48.
Bye, Maggie. Happy birthday to your daughter.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I forget that Maggie's kid is autistic. I guess because I don't see him or see her doing live streams or anything. I want to get Maggie to. Did I send her? I might have sent her a link. I sent several people a link because I really didn't know how.
Hi, Tammy.
I really didn't know how it would go with 3 or 4 people on the same live stream. I didn't know. It goes great with just one, but I thought I'd give it a try. But I'm trying to. One other thing here, guys. And Prion got me to thinking about this. How she does these vlogs about things that, like that thing she did, Brown Girl. And I never ever looked at her like, it just didn't occur to me that she was a brown girl or dark complexion. Matter of fact, it just didn't occur to me one way. I don't, and it's hard for me to understand how in the world, how I used to be and how I was raised. And these days, I just don't see color. I don't see nationalities. like I used to would. You know, I thought all Germans was bad, all Russians was bad, all Japanese was bad. I thought all these different nationalities that were bad. They're not.
Thank you, Jerry, Sister Barbara Everett. I appreciate that.
They're people. They are people, and they want the same thing that all of us want. You know, you want to be happy, you want family, you want all this stuff, but yet people put a label on you. And my brother-in-law used to. He worked in California for a while, and when he come back, he always referred to somebody that was Asian as a zipperhead. Now,
Never heard of that one.
I guess because all you ever saw was cartoons with the faces looking like their teeth was always out white, you know, and you could, I don't know how it got, but he called them zipperheads. And I got really upset. And he's the same brother-in-law that told me to my face, he said, well, he's your grandson, but he can't help what he is. And we got into it about that. And I told him then, I said, well, you can't help who you are. Maybe. But dang, folks, we're people. We all want the same thing. We don't want, yeah. I just don't see color or differences in people. I don't, it just, sometimes I'll meet somebody and I'll come home and I'll be telling somebody about it or something. And well, he's black, or well, he's a gook.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't occur to me anymore. And I guess the biggest change for me was when my daughter came home from school. I call it school. It was Job Corps, and I don't know how in the world she ever got into Job Corps, because Job Corps was for people that didn't have squat, you know, and they were disadvantaged and all that stuff. And she certainly wasn't disadvantaged. You know, I said, well, how do you get in that? Well, she'd tell me something, but I couldn't believe half of what she'd say about it anyway. But when she come home with that and had that baby, and the last time I pitched a fit about it was before he was, but when I found out she was pregnant and the dad was black, I pitched a fit. I was standing there in her bedroom wall, and I got so mad I hit the wall with my fist and knocked a hole through it, and told her, well, you're going to have an abortion. Like I had a say in the matter, you know, which I didn't. And then, of course, later on, I found out her and my wife was planning on her getting one because I said that. And then I pitched another fit. There wasn't no way in the world they was going to abort a grandchild of mine. So I did a complete turnaround. And when that boy was born, I mean, it just, you know, I just fell in love with him. And that changed me. But I had a propensity to have feelings when it come to racism, because when I was about 14, me and some of my cousins was out, and one of them broke the water fountain. That I probably told this before, but broke the water fountain at the bus station that was for coloreds only. And one day I was back over there, and there was this guy standing there with his wife, and I think it was 3 or 4 kids, and they all had a Coke bottle wanting some water, and they couldn't get water because the fountain was busted up. And the only fountain was for whites only. They was waiting for somebody white to come by and fill their bottles with water. And I'm not going to tear up this time, but it's very easy for me to tear up thinking about a grown man standing there with his wife and his kids having to practically beg for water. That left an impression on me. It stuck with me all my life. So I already had a soft spot about the racism thing, but then when my grandson was born, that did it. I wasn't racist anymore, and I believe in giving anybody. I don't care how they look, how tall they are, how skinny they are, how well, I'm gonna say obese now. They say it's not nice to say fat, but I'll say it about me. I'm fat, but you know, they're people. They're people, and they all want the same thing. And sometimes I'll be sitting there at Publix on the bench over there sipping a cup of coffee, and I'll see somebody come by that's so obese they can't hardly walk. And you'll see other people that's kind of get a roll their eyes or something like, oh, you know. You don't know how that woman or that man got that way. You don't know. You do not know. You don't know what they've gone through. You know, or you see somebody sitting there and it's very obvious that they're homeless. And you'll think, well, he screwed up some kind of way or something like that. Well, you don't know. You don't know what happened. Maybe he's mentally ill or something. You don't know.
Exactly.
But you'll sit there and make those judgments. And I know when somebody comes by that's panhandling, I don't know how they got in that situation. I don't know if they're scamming. There's some out there that scam. But you just don't know. You do not know, and it just kills me no end when people make those kinds of judgments on somebody. Don't judge nobody unless you know. And then be real quick to keep your thoughts to yourself. And don't sit there and say it to somebody else. Because chances are you run across somebody like me and you'll say it, and I'm going to tell you what for. So it's just, everybody wants the same thing. And back in World War II, when those Germans, the only good German was a dead German. Those Germans, it was most of the soldiers. Now, there were some bad ones in there, like the SS and stuff like that. But there was fellas in there like my girlfriend's dad was a World War II vet. And he lost a leg in the war. And in hindsight, okay. You know, he said, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that. But either you did or you died. You know, they would actually kill you. And so, you know, the only good Germans that would be better off dead was people like Hitler and Hermann Goering and Joseph Goebbels and people like that. That they knew what they were doing. They knew how many innocent people they were killing and stuff. But the homeless people, you know, by the way, I am trying my dangest to come up with a way that I can find a homeless camp somewhere that wouldn't be hard to get to. I would like to go to one of those camps and maybe even spend the night. I don't know. I want to do something. I want to talk to them. I want to see what they say. And we all have the what's the word am I looking? The propensity to make our story sound reasonable or to embellish it or something. We all have that propensity to do that. We're not going to tell it where we look in a bad light. A lot of us are like that. Some people, they, I'm not embellishing my life. My life, I made all my decisions myself. Even though I had a bad, hard, and bad upbringing, I still have the ability to change the way I did things or change the way I thought about things. And what some of the stuff I took advantage of, some of it I didn't. But I made my bed and I'm sleeping in it. I don't have two cotton picking nickels to rub together, but that's my fault. That is my fault. I can't use the fact that my wife passed away and it just left me down in the dumps and I went and just threw away everything I had. But I did that. I just wasn't equipped to deal with her not being there. And I'm still not equipped with her not being there. That's
Hi, Dwayne. Yeah, I can't imagine what you're going through. I mean, with just, yeah, I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine. I mean, it's got to be a hard thing for you to deal with.
well, I mean, 48 years she was there. She had my back. She would follow me. She would follow right behind me, even though if I really thought about it, I was going about something the wrong way, but she would support me. She did. And there was so much stuff after she passed away that she would have caught and say, hey, something's not right here or something like that, you know. She would realize that and she had my back. And then all of a sudden she wasn't there. And all of a sudden I got my clothes when they're washed and dried and all that stuff. I got my drawer over there. It's not neat. It's stuff piled in it. My wife used to take care of all that. My shirts, I have to make an effort to hang my shirts in the closet and everything. Stuff, just stupid, simple stuff that she did. And I had no clue what she done for me till she was gone. And it was so unexpected, you know, that I was there sitting with her that night and she was in the hospital. She's supposed to get out the next day. And I was on my hour dinner break at Walmart, and I come over there and I was sitting with her. And when I got ready to go, she said, "When you come tomorrow, would you bring me a sip of Pepsi or Coke?" And that was the last thing she asked me to do. Why is that moving like that? Oh, my desk. I'm hitting my desk. But, you know, and then that night they called me back, said something's wrong. I got down there and she's on life support. She had, I don't know if it was a stroke, an aneurysm, I don't know. But there was bleeding in the brain and she stayed that way for about 2 weeks before I decided to let them take her off the life support and let her go. My first thought was to uh, let them put her in hospice and keep her on the breathing and all that stuff. But then my sister-in-law, her baby sister, she begged me. Said, "Russell, don't let them cut into her and like that." Oh, Lisa says some German POWs in North Carolina jumped ship because they did not want to go back after the war, but my dad did not load his rifle during transports for that. Something about 1% cannot be trusted. Oh, there was some died in the wool Nazis. There sure was. But yeah, life's not easy. You know, you might have easy spots, but you're going to have some rough spots. And it happens to everybody. But fellas, like I said, I pretty much made my bed. I'm thankful that I'm not alone. Now, somebody told me a while ago their dad was coming up on 78, or the mom, and she's all alone, lives alone. I can't just, you know, when I think of an old person that's living alone, I think of my granddad. Grandmama had died in 53, and somewhere wrong about 1955 or 56, I see him sitting in a chair, a rocking chair, and he's not really burning any lights. It's daylight, but it's still dark in there, and I see him sitting in that chair. And there's a clock, a mantel clock, and it's a wind up, and it's sitting there, you know, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. He's sitting there not doing anything, not talking. There's nobody to talk to unless you happen to come over or something. And that's got to be the loneliest feeling in the world. I don't have, I'm not sitting here in a rocking chair or a chair listening to the clock go tick tock, tick tock. I'm getting on my dang scooter. And if my scooter had headlights on it like that big one I want does, I would probably hit the road at night if I get the feeling down.
Yeah.
And my grandson's here. My oldest grandson is 20 feet from me right now. My baby is in there maybe 30, 35 feet from me. My other one, the middle one, he's in the bed. I don't know why he's in the bed. He might be out with that girl. He's got a girl. He said it's not his girlfriend, but boy, they sure spend a lot of time together. I guess he don't want to hear what I got to say about any of it. I don't say much to him about stuff, but like I didn't know he had quit Walmart and was getting a job at Walmart. And I asked him yesterday, I said, when was you going to tell me you quit Walmart and you're going to work at Walmart? Well, I thought you knew. I don't think they told me because they knew what I was going to say. I would prefer that he stayed at Walmart and took that position as soon as it come available for him to have it. But because he'd already been there 3 years. And it was convenient because him and his mama worked the same shift. And I'm always looking at the practical side. And sometimes $1 more here an hour is not worth what it's going to wind up being in the end. And plus, that Walmart was very, very close to college, to where he goes to college. And but you know, he's a grown man. Hey, you couldn't see me. I see you, buddy. I'm only Jerry's sister Barb says, how close am I to the new scooter? I think I've got $275 in the fund right now. I haven't looked lately. Because some people send me a little, like, what's her name? Jerry's sister Barb Everett. She sent me $2 for that change of total. But that all goes straight in. Anything anybody leaves me, it goes straight into the scooter. And boy, if all my subscribers, and I got 926, if they'd all send me $1.50, I could be. I'm not asking for money there, folks, but it just occurs to me, it's not really that far off, but it's far off. But I'm working at it. I'm working at it, and Fantab, I appreciate what you've sent me, and you've sent me stuff there 2 or 3 times. So, I appreciate it. But just shared the stream again on Facebook and Twitter again. Okay, dear. Thank you, Lisa. You sure are busy on Facebook, dear. But and Lisa talking about the German POWs and stuff. My girlfriend's dad, he was almost going to be my daddy-in-law. He was a POW too, and he could tell you some real horror stories about the way.
Paul.
Who? Scrapping Pallet Man.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul. Man, you're gonna hit 100,000 here pretty quick. I don't know if I could handle that or not. That would just drive me crazy trying to answer every comment. You can't do it. You can't do it. And I try to comment on everybody that comments to me, and maybe sooner or later it's gonna get to where it's physically impossible to do it. But I've been with Paul a long time. Matter of fact, Paul gave me a shout out one time. But yeah, he gave me a shout out way back. And then I remember this other guy that gave him a shout out, Tucker Upper. And Tucker Upper's only around 40-something thousand subscribers, and Paul done passed him twice over. I need to quit dwelling on subscribers. 2 years, Paul said. Yes, it's been that long. And I ain't forgot what you said about me, my friend, and I hope I'm still doing that. But you said I speak from the heart, and I guess I do. And
absolutely.
I worry about people getting tired of hearing about my stuff. My simple stuff is simple stuff. I don't. And I need to quit worrying about the subscribers. I read a couple of you have already said that. I just do. I want to get to 1,000, but I want to be able to still interact with my subscribers, like I do with I want to be on a first name basis with them, but I know if it gets a whole lot of subscribers, I'm not going to be able to do that. And that troubles me no end. But anyway, I guess I need to quit yammering on. I've pretty much covered everything I want to cover. And I will have a new intro that I'm working on. And if Paul on Scrapping Pallet Man, he has no intro or outro. He used to did, but he quit doing that, and it sure hasn't hurt him. But I just can't imagine my video starting without my little song that guy does. It's called Panama Hat, if anybody wants to know. I love that song. And I'm going to keep that, and I'm probably going to keep that little short piece about my live on Saturday. The end of my videos, I have quit doing the outro, they call it. But I will do, the Christmas thing, that's going to be no more. My next video won't have the Christmas greeting thing in it. but it will have a Happy New Year thing. I've not decided which one I'm gonna use yet. But I don't know if you've noticed or not. I kind of like bright stuff. That was your 4-step video. That's why I want to talk to you, Paul. That's why I want to talk live to you. I want to understand more about what was going on with you and how you got from this spot to that spot and so on. I want to talk to you about it. I want to know your thoughts that you usually don't cover on your videos about things that's going on in your life. And I don't want to do it on the phone, my friend. I want to do it live. And I know you said you'd do it, so maybe I'll work on that angle a little bit. But I want to talk to all my subscribers, especially the ones like Mary Beth and you couldn't see me, and Willow, but Willow won't do a live. And she has her own reasons, and I know the reasons, and I understand that perfectly. And I thank God for Willow Alcere. She's kind of kept me headed in the right direction. And see, Paul, that stuff I want to know about. Don't ask me why. I don't know. You're almost like a son to me because what are you, 50? Man, I was in my prime when I was 50. You're 50 years old and white haired. You'd make a fantastic Santa Claus. Street homeless. I cannot imagine being homeless. I can't. I mean, there was times that I was staying with my dad, and then I'd skip town and go to my mama's, and back and forth. There was times like that I really didn't have a home, but it wasn't like I didn't have a bed to sleep. I was either on the bus or the train. And when I got to mama's, I had a bed to sleep in. When I got to my dad's, if he was just living in a room somewhere, he'd go rent a place and we'd live in that, and so on. But my dad was an alcoholic, and he committed suicide when he was about 54, 55, something like that, 1978. And he did it on a drunk. I know he was drunk because he had been dry. He hadn't had anything to drink for several months, and he was doing good. And then that Saturday morning that he committed suicide, he had went to town for something, and he went in a liquor store and got himself a bottle of white Stillbrook corn liquor. Come home, drank about a half a bottle, and I don't know if he was doing that to get up the nerve to shoot himself, or he was drinking that liquor and realized he had fell off the wagon again and went there and got his gun and shot himself in the heart. I love my dad, but he was a drunk. As long as I knew him, he was a drunk. He drank. And the last time my mama was with him was in Mother's Day, 1951. He come in drunk and fussing and raising Cain, and then he passed out in the living room floor. And my mama put a pillow under his head, and she left for about an hour, and she come back with this man who I had never met. His name was Bob Folks, Robert W. Folks Jr. Was it Robert Folks Jr. or Robert? No, it was Robert Folks Sr. And he had a son and a wife, but him and my mama took off, and they took all 5 of us kids. And I say dump because that's what I feel like it was. She dumped me, my sister under me, and my brother under her at my grandmother Pearson's after she tried to dump us at her mother's, and her mother wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, and so she took us to Daddy's mother and left us three there, and then took my baby brothers, Joe and Michael. Joe is dead. Joe was a Vietnam vet, combat wounded, Purple Hearts and all that stuff. Michael was in the Air Force, and he's living. Joe's not. But me and my sister and my other brother, we're all living. But she took them two with her, and we didn't see Mama again for 3 years. We didn't know where she's at. So that's the deal on that. You know, I look at my 11-year-old grandson in there, and I can't imagine what it would do to that boy if his mama all of a sudden took off and left him. He would be so crushed. And I can't remember if I was crushed or not. I just remember after she left, we was working on the farms and stuff. And I remember out there chopping cotton or chopping soybeans or peanuts or something, you know, chopping weeds out. And those long rows, and I see a car coming down the road. And I think, boy, I wish that was Mama coming to get me. Wow. So I don't know if I was crushed or not. I feel like I did just fine, but I didn't. And it was always something that stood between me and my mother that she did that. And she told my brother George called her on it one time, and she said, well, it seemed like the right thing to do at the time. But actually, my mother and my dad was not ready for kids. Mother was 16 when I was born.
Wow.
That just sends shivers down me thinking that my life depended on a 16-year-old girl and an 18-year-old man. Just does, you know. But that's my life. I can't change it. I can't let it. I've let it control things that I've did. But I can tell you one thing it didn't do. It made me a dyed-in-the-wool non-drinker. I drink a beer or two a year, supposedly because it helps my kidneys from getting kidney stones. A doctor told me that one time. Now, right or wrong, but that's why I don't drink. I had a spell about there for about 2 months that when I lived in Virginia with this business I had there, and I went through the drive-through with somebody, they wanted to get and they fix your drinks to go. You know, they're sealed and everything. But he had me taste one of them, and I did, and I liked it. And then I started, for about a month, making a habit of going by there and getting that stuff. I wouldn't drink it driving. I would never drive and drink. And I would get that stuff. And I seen real quick, I was getting hooked on it. So I quit. Never again. I wasn't going to be like my dad. And I think I've learned by a lot of things that's happened to me. I think I just learned too late how to control everything and keep everything in perspective and accept everything that's happened, but couldn't be making me. I just wish it had made me a stronger person when my wife passed away. But man, I wasn't equipped to handle that. And even though I knew she would not outlive me, even though she knew it, I knew it, and I always thought I've got to live longer than her to take care of, because she needed a lot of help, because she was frail beyond her years. But it just didn't occur to me that it would affect me the way it did. I just, I was sitting in there when she took her last breath, and it just, all of a sudden it hit me. My baby's gone. I wish it wasn't like that, where one of you's going to leave the other unless you die at the same time. But man, and divorce, that's something else, guys. That is not, it's the word is there, but it's not in my vocabulary. That is not an option, period. Unless I know there's cases, certain things, yes, you know, especially for abuse and stuff like that, it's there. But when there's no abuse and everything is the way it should be, and then you have a little disagreement over something like anything, and then you're going to get a divorce, no. I married my wife for life. Just, I don't know. It's just not in my vocabulary. And I didn't realize a lot of this stuff till after my wife was gone. I didn't realize that at one point, if somebody said, "Do you hate your mother?" I would have said yes. But I realized after my mother was gone, and she was on her deathbed, and I didn't go see her or anything because when my wife died, my mama didn't call me, come by or nothing. She left town going back to Virginia the same day. And, but when my mother died, then I got to thinking, somebody had took a picture of her on her deathbed, and it's on YouTube, I think. I didn't put it there, but it's on there. But she wasn't dead then, but she was. You could tell she was gone, and I should have went to see her. I think my baby sister, the one that was illegitimate and was put out for adoption the day she was born, she had never seen my mother, and she went to see my mother on her deathbed. That's another story about my baby sister. I never knew her till about 6 years ago. Man, have I got stories. But you know what? I don't know to use stories that are depressing. I mean, sometimes if somebody tells you a story about something that's happened, or something that's very depressing in your life, something that happened, I look at it this way. If you tell the story, there may be somebody out there looking at it or listening to it that'll make them have second thoughts about stuff they are doing, you know, or stuff they're having happen in their life. Maybe it will help. And maybe it'll make them not feel like they're the only ones. So, and I've had some happy times in my life. Trust me, I've had some. One of the happiest times in my life was when I joined the Army in 1959, March 18th, 1959 in Jacksonville, Florida. Sworn in on the 18th. Went to Fort Jackson for basic training for 2 months. Got a leave after that for 30 days, and then the next month went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and the second 8 weeks training for artillery, and then shipped out to Germany. That was a fantastic time for me. I've even got a daughter out of that deal when I was in Germany that I didn't know about till the mama died. The mama being a German girl, I didn't know about it. She told me that about 3 days before she died, because she thought I knew, and she did not tell me she was pregnant. And I'm not bragging I'm not saying that's the way to have a child or anything, but that's just the way it was. But and I know a lot of you ladies hear this divorce. You know, I'm not talking anything that happened in your life. I mean, only you and your family know, and I don't know, and I appreciate some of the things you've told me about it. But for me, divorce was not in my vocabulary. And here's something else that I really believe, and this happened to me a couple of times. If you're married with a spouse and y'all having a really bad argument or something, don't unless you sincerely mean it, do not jump up and say, well, I'm just going to leave then, I'll see you, or something like that. Unless you're really ready to follow through with that, don't say it, because in the end, you're going to wind up eating crow. You ain't going nowhere. You're just saying it in the spur of the moment. And I learned that a lot. Don't say stuff like that. Or you get mad, I hate you. Don't say it, because you don't. You don't. You know, that's just something you need to think about and be able to just, in an argument, a big argument or something, back off. Just take a walk, and then it's not the end of the world. Don't let it get out of hand. I mean, if you got to eat crow, eat crow, but don't let it. It's so simple, but people tend to not let it be simple. And wow, I didn't mean to get into all this stuff, but you know, it's just stuff that's happened to me in my life. It's stuff that I've learned, and sometimes I took advantage of learning what I learned, and sometimes I'll forget and go back to something that I should have paid attention to when I was saying it before. But anyway,
Thank you, Paul.
I need who? Yeah, well, it does. It makes us better people. Most of the time, there's some people that never learn. But anyway, I've been yapping for 2 hours. I didn't mean to do that, folks, but I got to go look at Mary Beth singing. I don't know how I missed that. I was trying to catch everybody's video, and by me not getting the notices, I don't know what's going on with my computer. It does not notify me when anybody's put up a new video, and I have to check everybody, and I forget. And like here's, I always check Paul's, and I always check Crazy Family, and I even check ones that doesn't put up any content. But I overlook some, not intentional, but I do. And but you know, it's life. That's another reason I want to know about Paul, Scrapping Pallet Man. Just so many things. He's got so many facets to his life, you know, that interest me, and I want to know how he got there, and what pulled him out of it. Was it his church or what? I don't know. And I just want to know, and I want to see him like I'm sitting here looking at Mary Beth right now. I want to sit here like I'm looking at me, and I look over here and I can see Mary Beth. You know, that means so much more to me when I can talk to somebody like this. And it boggles my mind that this kind of technology is here. You know, back when I was a kid, the only way you could do that, I don't know if Dick Tracy had that. Was it just a two-way radio, or did it do pictures? I can't remember. But we didn't think that was possible back then. Sure didn't. things has changed so much, and I can talk to people all over. Yeah, Paul, that I don't know why I get that way, but sometimes if I'm not out acting, interacting with people, and talking to and meeting new people, especially new people, I just crave for it, and it just makes me feel so good to do that. Uh, and I've only got 2 people on my camera that's unfriendly. And this one guy, I got my eye on him. He is very unfriendly, but I'm gonna crack that shell. He's gonna talk to me. He just don't know it yet. And I've already paid him some compliments I really meant. You know, like he's got this house, beautiful home, and it's got all these ivy vines growing all over the front facade of the house. I love that. But he's the one had the yard all tore up because it had web sodworms, they call them. And that had to cost him a bunch to do that. And he's just not in a talky mood. But I'll keep on. I'll keep on. I'll catch him out there again. I'll reel him in. It's gonna be my friend. He just don't know it yet. But anyway, guys, Maxwell Smart had a pretty cool. Yeah, he did have a shoe phone, didn't he? I remember that. Willow, she doesn't do content. She never has. And there again, don't look down your nose at somebody just because they don't do something that you would do, because you don't know why they won't do it. And there's reasons. So, well, it's just the old saying, don't judge a book by the cover. And there's more truth in that than you ever know. But anyway, guys, I'm over 2 hours now. Good grief. It's 7 o'clock. What have I got to do? Oh, I know. I got a couple of things I need to do. I'm working on my New Year's piece. I'm gonna put at the beginning of my videos. I like bright colors, bright themes. I don't like. I get all them little pieces I put in, like the Christmas thing, you know, and stuff like that. I buy those from Infomercial or Info. I can't remember the name of it. I got it on my desktop. But they run about $6 a piece. You put in the information you want. They got several different ones you can pick from, and that's where I get those. Some people's under the impression that I made those. Well, I wish I could make those. If I could make a animated video board, you'd love some of the stuff I'd want to do. But I can't do it. I ain't that smart. I ain't smart anyway. But anyway, that's what I got to work on. Paul, I appreciate you being by, my friend. Nice meeting Mary Beth. Mary Beth's a sweetheart. And she does content, by the way, folks. And if you want to find somebody really interesting, go look at Prion. It's a blog. It's not really so much content as she's talking about different things. Like she was talking about the advantages and disadvantages of being a brown girl. She called it a brown girl. And she's one from Bangladesh, and she was talking about that, and I like that, mainly because my grandsons are brown boys, if you want to call them that. And and there's other things she talks about, things she likes, problems with being a foreign student from Bangladesh to, and I'm thinking since she's going to school in Ukraine, she doesn't work. So I'm thinking they must be kind of financially secure for somebody to be paying for that. And plus, she's talking about other places in the world she wants to go. So who knows? You know, I'm not trying to judge that book by its cover, but it occurred to me that money's not a problem. But I like a lot of the things she talks about. And you have to really start digging in her videos to find stuff that really piques your interest. But I think she's great. Oh well, I ain't gonna dwell on that. All my subscribers are great, every one of them, and I don't know where I'd be without them today. I really don't. And folks, I'm gonna let that be the end. I promise I'm gonna shut up now. Where am I at? I'm over 2 hours. All right, guys. Mary Beth, I appreciate you stopping in. Crazy Family's not having a live stream
More
tonight.
than welcome.
So,
Gonna be tomorrow night at 7.
what's tomorrow night at 7? What's tomorrow night at 7?
Crazy Family Tube is having a live tomorrow night at 7.
Oh, okay. I'll be there with bells on. I love that family too. She did so much for my channels. When she gave me that shout out like she did, and it wasn't just like, hey, check out Junk Dauber. She like, hey, that's my new grandpa and stuff like that. And boy, it just right off the bat, I got over 100 subscribers. Boy, that could happen again. I'd be over 1,000.
And I was one of them.
Really? That's how you found me, Mary
Yeah,
Beth?
that's where I learned you from.
Well,
Yes, that's where I learned you from, was from them.
I really appreciate it. And, you know, I appreciate so much, too, the way her life with I can't imagine adopting. I wish I could adopt kids, but I can't. I mean, just think, I've been having kids now for 50 years, counting my daughter, my son, and my grandsons. And now that's fixing to come to an end pretty soon with my youngest one. I wish they had 2 or 3 more in the oven coming along. But who knows? You know, now she ain't going to have no more babies. She's not going to have any more. Will also came from a shout out from Scrapping Blind. Hey, Scrapping Blind, that's another one I was trying to think of. I got to go get hold of him. He's got an eye problem. No, they won't let an old man like me adopt, Christy. I'm pushing 80. What you talking about? I can't hardly take care of one. Well, I'm actually not I say I'm raising him because he's right here. You know, they're all 3 right here. They never left home. They've never gone anywhere. They're right here. I've had them all their life. So I feel like they're my kids. And my daughter, sometimes she gets really bent when I say something like it's our kids, you know. Well, you're my dad. Quit saying that, you know. But shoot. Anyway, I love my babies, and I wish we had more coming on. But maybe my grandson, the middle one, will get married and have kids. But I have an idea. If he got married, he'd be living in a different house, and I wouldn't have a hands-on deal with any babies that come from him. Which I don't know if I could handle that or not. But I said I was going, didn't I? Oh, Lord. Okay, guys. Look, I appreciate y'all. I love every one of you. And my goodness, uh, some,
We all love you too, Russell.
yeah. Okay, guys. Appreciate it, Fantel. Um, I got to
You're
go.
very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
I got to look up your song. I want to hear that. I want to
Well,
see.
there's 25 of them.
Really? Different
Yeah,
videos?
there's 25 Christmas songs.
Different videos?
Yeah, there's more than that, but there's 25 Christmas ones.
Oh, well, I got my work cut out for me then. All right, dear. I love you.
Love you too, Russell.
I'll
Love you all.
see y'all next Saturday.
You all have a fantabulous New Year's.